Now we're going to talk about the system that protects us from infection, the immune system. Our immune system is our defense against pathogens. Pathogens are any disease-causing agents, so they may be organisms, molecules, or viruses. The immune system fights these pathogens in a couple different ways. It has physical barriers that prevent pathogens from entering the body. And it also has white blood cells that help fight pathogens that get inside. There are three lines of defense in the immune system. Again, we have physical barriers that help prevent pathogens from entering the body in the first place. And then we have two different types of immune responses to pathogens: non-specific immunity and specific immunity. First, let's talk about physical barriers. They include both our skin and our mucous membranes. The skin acts as a physical wall, preventing pathogens from entering the body. And the mucous membranes help trap pathogens to protect us. Our physical defense system is known as the integumentary system. This includes our skin, our mucous membranes, and also many other structures and secretions. Sweat and oil glands secrete substances on our skin that help trap pathogens to prevent them from entering the body. Our hair and nails also offer us some protection, especially against damage to our skin, which could give pathogens an easy way in. The integumentary system has many different secretions that help protect us from pathogens and damage. Sweat, saliva, and tears all help trap or wash away pathogens. But they also contain an enzyme called lysozyme, which helps kill bacteria. In our tears, we also have antiviral chemicals that help kill viruses before they enter our eyes. The tears also physically wash away pathogens. In the stomach, our stomach acid helps kill some pathogens that might be found in our food. Other parts of the body, including the vagina, urinary tract, and reproductive tracts, also secrete pathogen-killing acids. In the respiratory system, cells are lined with cilia coated in mucus that help trap pathogens and move them out of our lungs. And finally, our earwax also provides some protection to prevent pathogens from entering our ears. Because it is so sticky, the earwax helps trap pathogens. Now pause the video to answer these questions from participation assignment 14. Now let's talk about what happens when pathogens do get into the body. Remember, there are two different types of immune responses: non-specific immunity and specific immunity. Non-specific immunity is a rapid response. Non-specific immune cells can recognize pathogens in the body within minutes of them getting inside and start to attack and destroy them. Again, these cells are non-specific, so they respond to all pathogens in the same way. The non-specific immune response has several different functions. It can recognize pathogens, but it also recognizes breaches of the physical barriers, such as a cut on the skin. When it recognizes one of these threats, it sends signals to the rest of the immune system to prepare it to launch an attack. The non-specific cells then also start attacking the pathogens and/or the infected cells. The cells doing this work are the white blood cells, which are known as leukocytes. Leukocytes are specialized cells made in the bone marrow. From there, they are released into the bloodstream, where they patrol for foreign bodies like pathogens. There are many different types of leukocytes, each with a different role in the immune system. Leukocytes are specialized to recognize things that are foreign to the body. They do this by binding to proteins on the surface of invading microorganisms or molecules. Again, we are talking about the non-specific immune system here, so this recognition is still non-specific. These white blood cells can bind to a wide range of different pathogens. For example, receptors on white blood cells can bind to a protein found in the flagellum of a bacterium. They aren't identifying a specific type of bacteria. They just can recognize any bacterium that has a flagellum. Now pause and answer this question. In the non-specific immune response, there are 4 different types of leukocytes that work together to mount the attack: neutrophils, macrophages, dendritic cells, and natural killer cells. Neutrophils are the most abundant type of leukocyte, making up 50 to 70% of white blood cells in the body. They are phagocytotic, so they destroy pathogens by phagocytosis. Basically, they engulf and destroy pathogens. They circulate in the blood and leave the blood vessels at sites of damage, like a cut. When they engulf a pathogen, they self-destruct in the process. If you remember back to the beginning of the semester, phagocytosis is the process of a cell surrounding and engulfing a particle or another cell. When neutrophils engulf a pathogen, they die in the process. If there is an infection and many neutrophils are engulfing pathogens and dying, that collection of dead neutrophils and other cellular debris accumulates as pus. Now pause and answer this participation question. The next type of leukocytes are the macrophages. One of the jobs of macrophages is to clean up the mess made by the neutrophils. They hang out in the body tissues outside of the blood vessels, and also destroy pathogens and other debris by phagocytosis. They can kill many small pathogens by phagocytosis, and they also engulf and clean up pus left behind by neutrophils. But macrophages don't self-destruct in the process. Instead, they survive to perform another role. When they engulf a pathogen, they attach a protein from that pathogen to the surface of their cell. This acts as an advertisement to other cells in the immune system, letting them know that pathogen is present. Neutrophils and macrophages can also kill pathogens in another way, by secreting pathogen-killing chemicals. They can secrete hydrogen peroxide and hypochlorous acid to help kill bacteria and fungi. These 2 chemicals are both found in household bleach, which we know is a strong pathogen killer. Now let's talk about dendritic cells. Their main job is to link the non-specific immune system to the specific immune system by presenting or advertising the presence of foreign matter to specific immune cells. They're found in the skin and the mucous membranes, where they kill pathogens by phagocytosis. But if an infection occurs, they then migrate to the lymph nodes, where they deliver the message to the specific immune system. The last type of leukocytes we're going to talk about are the natural killer cells. They are specially designed to kill viruses, and they do this by poking holes in the virus. They also have some ability to destroy cancer cells. Natural killer cells are found in both the blood and the tissues. The nonspecific immune system responds quickly to an infection, but it also sends signals to the specific immune system to call it to action. One of the ways it does this is by producing cytokines. Cytokines are signaling proteins secreted by immune cells in response to a pathogen. They circulate around the body and bind to receptors on other immune cells. Once a cytokine binds to an immune cell, it triggers it to respond to the infection, such as by moving to the site of the infection. Interferons are a specific type of cytokine that signal viral infections. When interferons bind to immune cells, it triggers them to start producing and releasing antiviral proteins. Here are a few more participation questions for you to answer. So let's talk about what happens in the non-specific immune system when you cut your finger. The macrophages in your tissues begin engulfing bacteria that has been introduced to the skin. But at the same time, they also start releasing cytokines that attract more immune cells to the site of the wound. Another couple of cells also react to the damage. Basophils and mast cells respond to the cytokines by releasing histamine. Basophils are a type of leukocyte that triggers inflammation. They do this by releasing histamine. Histamine is a molecule that causes blood vessels to dilate. As those vessels dilate, they start to become leaky. So as the histamine causes those blood vessels to dilate, blood flow increases to the area. The increased blood flow and the leakiness of the blood vessels makes it easier for neutrophils to exit the blood into the infected tissue. This increased blood flow usually causes redness, heat, and swelling in the affected area. If the infection is not cleared quickly, the cytokines may trigger a fever, which is an elevated body temperature. Raising the body temperature helps slow down the rate of growth of the pathogens.